Okay, everybody, we got Tristan, Silva, Hadley. Go ahead and open up for questions.
Guys, in these last few games, it's been kind of an emotional roller coaster for y'all. Where have y'all been since this road trip and then coming back getting this win, just emotion-wise?
Just trying to stay together. Especially battling injuries and stuff like that. A lot of people are getting banged up. A lot of our key guys too. So that's always a challenge. And it's so easy to put your head down and think that things are bad. And we went 0-3 Arizona. It wasn't a good trip. So just coming back and we knew we had to try to turn something around. So especially in the first half as well. Just knowing that we're down, and that's kind of where that fight came from as well.
Javon, you mentioned you guys are typically a better first half team than you are a second half team. What was the message at halftime for coach when you guys get down 16 at one point, just struggling to get something going offensively?
It was pretty positive actually in halftime. A lot of our open shots weren't falling and stuff like that, so we knew that it just comes down to defense. They were getting too easy looks and stuff like that. We usually try to pride ourselves on defense, so our defense wasn't there in the first half. So that's a key point that he mentioned at half. And another thing that he mentioned was exactly what you just said. We're a first half usually, and then the second half we kind of fall off a little bit. And he said, it's going to be the opposite tonight. So that was kind of what he left the halftime with, and kind of just boosted us to that win.
Tristan, Ted talked this week about making sure you guys didn't maybe come out too flat, knowing that some of their guys were going to be out, and then they had a few more out than maybe expected even at the beginning of this. Did that maybe happen on your side a little bit? It seemed like the energy early on was not at all what you came out with after halftime.
I feel like we were trying not to, just because we've been on the flip side of it. We had me and Cody out, and we went 2-0 in the first two games of conference play. So they can't really be our mindset going into games. That their main guys are out and that they're just going to give up and give us a W. So, and obviously you could see it. They were playing well in the first half, and then as Javon said, we kind of turned it around in the second half and kind of really locked in.
Javon, you and Cody were both taking the Kobe Johnson assignment kind of throughout the night. What was kind of the key to kind of shutting him down, as he's kind of the key guy for them without both Boogie Ellis and Isaiah Collier?
With Kobe Johnson, he's a confident player. Especially he made a big jump from last year. He's taking on the role of bringing the ball up, and Cody did a great job heating him up and putting that pressure on him, and pressure really bothers him. So just pressuring him and making him feel uncomfortable, because it's really with any player, especially at this level. When you're comfortable, you're a pretty good player, regardless of who you are. So when you're uncomfortable, you start to overthink and panic a little bit. So that's what we try to do with all the players tonight, really.
Javon, you mentioned pressure. In the second half, USC had 10 turnovers. I know you emphasized defense going into the second half. Just how did that translate, just forcing all those turnovers, really discombobulating them in the second?
Turnovers really ignites our offense. We thrive in transition. We practice it every day. We run at altitude, so we're built for turnovers when the other team turns the ball over. So when we get out and run in transition, we're a really hard team to stop. But when you don't get stops, you don't get those opportunities, and we didn't really get those in the first half. And the score really said that.
Tristan, how impressed were you with Cody defensively, and just in general how engaged he is as a freshman on that end, even when his shot hasn't been falling too much just since he came back?
Yeah, I feel like I've been saying this since the beginning of the season, though. His maturity and his knowledge of the game is for a freshman is crazy. So I'm not surprised. He does this in practice. He had that mindset coming into trying to be a defensive force for us. So having him on the perimeter, especially with his reach and his length, definitely gets our opponents in trouble. And he's a smart player, so he knows how to defend well.
Y'all finally got a game where y'all got a lot of students in the stands tonight. How did it feel to play in front of a pretty solid crowd?
It was lit. We turned up.
It's always fun when there's a lot of fans and a lot of people just showing support, especially at home. So that's another reason we feel comfortable and at home, especially when everybody comes and shows love. So we just appreciate everybody that comes out and shows appreciation, even though sometimes we're struggling. So we do appreciate that.
Yeah, shout out Buff Nation.
How much does Eddie feed off of that energy?
You can see it. Yeah, it's not really much to talk about.
Yeah, he's one of a kind, especially when it comes to big men. best in the country.
Travon, you guys have generally played pretty well at home, but you know, I think this is really the first one where you were out rebounded, the team didn't shoot really well from 3-point range, yet you still found a way to kind of come back and win this one. What's that mean for this team, especially with a team like Oregon coming in here next week?
Yeah, just noticing that we're not going to be perfect, especially at all times. You know, we're not a perfect team. Nobody's perfect. So, you know, just getting those key stops and, you know, in those moments, you know, maybe it's a tie game, you need to stop like that. So just key stops. Just realizing that we're not going to be perfect is super big.
Anything else for the players? All right, guys, thank you.
Appreciate you.